Hey guys, for today's video I really wanted to talk about how to find out about events and things that might be on when you are in Japan. Alright, so I guess if you have seen pretty much any of the videos on my channel, you know that I'm a big fan of events and going along to festivals and things like that. I really enjoy it. I am a huge photography nut, so taking photos of that kind of thing really interests me. I kind of like capturing that little bit of culture, which is really different to what I'm used to, and that's why I really like going to these things. I like experiencing and seeing something that's completely different and out of my realm of experience. So, well, yeah. So that's why I like going to events. I find them really interesting, but sometimes it can be really difficult to kind of find out what's on. So I wanted to give you guys a few little tips about how to find out if you're traveling, how to find out about different things that are on so that you can kind of make the most out of your trips and definitely kind of get those experiences that you're looking for. Alright, so number one is pretty much the interwebs are amazing. You guys probably already have done this if you've traveled, but I know it seems like it's one of those things that people overlook so much. But yeah, do a Google search. Whack in, whatever city you're visiting and events after it, and a lot of the time you'll probably access like a tourist information page. A lot of the times these can be in English, sometimes the resources are not, and you have to kind of like either resort to your awful Japanese skills. Yeah. Or alternatively, kind of try and make sense of the garbled nonsense that comes out of Google Translate. But either way, you can often find some really cool things that are on, and can kind of like cross-check to make sure that you're not just going crazy. But yeah, no, okay, so a lot of my own experiences comes from, the Kansai area. I know Osaka has an amazing events page. It's really good, and it's in English. So it's definitely worth checking out if you're traveling kind of to that area. Kyoto's is also very good. They've got a good roundup every month kind of on their webpage. Nara's is a little bit different. It's not quite as comprehensive, but I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to make sense of events in that particular city. But yeah, I know Googling first and having a look at those like major like tourist information pages are definitely worth checking out, kind of if you're traveling and you want to see these kind of events. Another really good tip is to have a look at city pages. Sometimes they might be in English, a lot of the times they will be definitely in Japanese, but they also have some really good event information, particularly if you're going to kind of a more smaller town or a more country kind of area. Definitely worth checking out though. So yeah, check out Google, the web pages, particularly like the tourist information pages. Alright, so another tip, I guess, on this kind of same area is that there's a lot of different kind of websites that do information on events, and these also have a lot of stuff. Sometimes they're not always up to date, which is kind of frustrating, and their details can be a little bit dodgy sometimes. It depends on the quality of the website, but checking these out can also give you an idea of what might be on while you're traveling there. There's also things like Facebook groups and Twitter and all of these like social media things which can give you a really good idea of different things. I know a lot of cities and a lot of like the expat communities will have events on Facebook. There's groups in that will kind of go through and list different kind of events that are on in that area. So these are a really good chance to kind of to see what's on. Also following a lot of the social media like Twitter and that of some of the tourist information boards can give you an idea of what's happening in kind of real time. I guess it's worth checking out. Another resource I usually check out are a lot of like community notice boards, which can be a little bit intimidating if you're not so great with the Japanese. But if you're staying in a particular place and you want to have, and you can see like, usually by parks, or there might be a community center, a lot of times these places will have a community notice board, and you can kind of see advertisements for matsuris or, particular like events and things like that. And you can either struggle and get some practice with that Japanese, alternatively you can usually kind of work your way around with a little bit of Google Translate, which is not great and not ideal, but if you're traveling, it will save you. Checking out stations a lot of the times will have things on, and yeah, you can get a really good idea of the different things that are happening in that particular area that you're staying in as well. Also asking at the places you're staying at. So if you're staying at a hostel or Airbnb or a hotel or something like that, ask at the information desk, see if you can get some information as to what's happening while you're in that city. When I'm traveling, I realized I used number 1 and I haven't actually continued on with the numbering system. So sorry about that, that's a bit confusing, but anyway, I forgot. So another really good thing, like whenever I'm traveling, whenever I'm going to parts of Japan that I'm not used to going to, the first thing, literally the first thing, as soon as I come out of the station, the first thing I will do is check out the Tourist Information Center. I know this is so old school and it's something that my parents do and that's what they've kind of instilled in me. That is how this has come about. But going to check out the Tourist Information Center is fantastic because not only do you get maps and brochures in English, you can also find out about events and things like that. And there's like little tips and tricks that you might miss out if you don't have that kind of like local knowledge. So especially for smaller cities where the information might not be online so frequently, yeah, going to have a look at those like information centers is really, really helpful. Sometimes they might speak a little bit English, sometimes not, but a lot of times they will have resources that are in English. So that's a really, really handy kind of tip. I would definitely suggest. They've saved me so many times. Every time I go somewhere, I tend to, usually they're kind of attached to a lot of stations in Japan, I've noticed, especially in the smaller cities. So they're usually not too far away and they've still got like the white and blue eye thing going down, which is pretty standard. So yeah, definitely check those out. And I guess my last tip for finding out what's going on, finding events and things like that, is just kind of being really aware. Watch what's happening around you. If you can see a heap of people going in a particular direction, use the chance to explore. Don't be completely stuck on your like particular itinerary and things like that. I think having time to explore in a city is an amazing thing. I love following the sounds of like festivals in summer, like things that I didn't know was actually happening. If I see a lot of people, I can hear a lot of noise. I could hear like the drums and things like that. I'll go and check out what's happening because a lot of the times I've stumbled across little festivals or different shows or events and things like that I had no idea was on. So I think just being curious and watching what's happening around you and taking the time to explore and to experience a place can also reward you with some amazing experiences which you might not have had if you were kind of just hitting those like touristy areas or just hitting those points on your itinerary. So take time, like schedule some time in just to explore, just to kind of let yourself wander off the path if you need to. It's one of my favorite things that I've done. Every time it's always been rewarding if I've turned up to a city and found that there's a big matsuri going on or there's like some kind of religious ceremony going on. It's such a cool experience to kind of learn about something that you had no idea was happening. So yeah, just be aware, be very observant, be willing to kind of take that little adventurous step off like your particular track that you've organized. So yeah, I guess those are my tips for finding out about events and experiences in Japan. I hope you guys like them. That's how I do it here. I've been really lucky a lot of times. I have this tendency to find festivals. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it just seems to happen. But I'm really grateful for it and it's always lots of fun. So yeah, I don't know, hopefully these tips will help you guys if you're traveling to Japan or if you live here and you want to kind of explore the area a little bit more. Yeah, I hope you guys liked it. And I guess that's about it for me. I've got to put my fan on before I die from like heat exhaustion because it's hot today and I have nothing open because I'm trying to film a video. Fun times guys. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I hope you guys like that. Don't forget to like hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, check out my Instagram. I'll put the link in here somewhere. I know I take lots of photos of events and things like that, so they might give you an idea as well of things that you can see. But yeah, anyway, I'll talk to you guys really soon, and until next time, bye.